did it for me, and he did it for me. Hello, happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to Life with Paulette. Today we're going to talk a little about Shmoney talk. Yes, I'm in front of the charger. I'm not doing conversation on the go. That means I'm not driving right now. I just pulled over. I'm going to recharge. As you all know, this week has been crazy for me. I am definitely needing a break. Okay, so I'm probably going to take my break tomorrow. The kids are telling me they want to go to the water park, and I'm hoping that the weather is good so we can get to the water park. But today we're going to talk about Saturday's Shmoney talk, and I want to definitely talk about a few tips of don'ts when it comes to a Lyft ride and I want to share with you guys from the driver's perspective to the customer, and from the customer to the driver. So this is not going to be a long video. I just want to share some things that I've came across with when it comes to customers driving in your car. And basically I also drove in a Lyft and an Uber, and there was things that I think that we could do a little bit better as drivers, and I just want to share them with you. So are you guys ready for me sharing? You may like some of them, and some of them may be a little offensive to you, but they're only going to be offensive to you if you're doing them. So I'm telling it to you so you could correct it. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the driver's perspective. As a Lyft drivers, one few steps that I wanted to tell you are tips. Call it tips. I don't know what you all want to call this, but just call it something. Just know that these are little things that I feel that most drivers should have under their buckle when it comes to driving their Lyft. Number one, make sure you have a clean car at all times, outside and inside. Okay. Number two, always carry yourself some refreshment. Like refresheners, car freshener. You can have the scented ones. I normally like to pick, you can pick these up from Bed Bath and Beyond. I didn't even know they sell car scents, So grab yourself a few of these that last for 30 days. You set them up by your vent, or you could buy the little thing like me. You all know I love butterflies, and I just put my vent refresheners in here, and that lasts for 30 days, 20 to 30 days, guys. Here you go. As a driver on Lyft or Uber, make sure that you have something mild. Don't get no strong scents out there, because not everybody can handle, when it comes to the scent. Some people are more sensitive than others, so just be mindful. Get something that is not so strong when it comes to your car, because sometimes you're going to have your AC on, you may not have fresh air, and yeah, you're going to have sensitive drivers also when some people can't handle the scents. So don't have nothing too strong in there, like, no bleachy smell, even though you want to disinfect your car as well. But make sure that all the cars air out and it's more relaxing. It's a nice little vibe. Number three, the music that you put on in your car, make sure that it's turned down to probably 2 to 3, maybe. I would say if you turn it to 5, make sure that, it's not no profanity in your music or sounds. I like to do gospel. You can't go wrong with a gospel channel in your car, because it's mellow. It keeps your patient level at a certain level, so that way sometimes you may have a good or a bad ride. It will just keep everything toned down instead of rap music in your car. Some people put rap music, rock music, all these loud sounds in the car. It can be offensive to your Lyft ride driver, your customer. So make sure that is toned down. Jazz music in the background. I don't particularly put jazz music in the background. By the way, when it comes to scents, you can also use car scents. You could pick these up at I'm going back and forth. I should have checked this down, because my head is all over the place. When it comes to your car scent, I show you guys how to get some at Bed Bath and Beyond. And I'm also want to let you all know that you can get these at like a grocery stores. You can get them air scents in, a hardware store. Anywhere you can find them. Just find something that's not strong. I like to do the black ice and air the night before, so it can just get through the car and it's all mellow. Instead of putting it in while the customer is in your car, it can be a little bit strong, but it keeps the car really relaxed and a nice little fresh scent if you do use these. Or you can use something. I came to the conclusion that a Hawaiian scent may or may not work for everybody else, because you're going to have coconut in there, you're going to have Hawaiian orange, like, the pineapple, and that mixture may not work with certain people. Now, number 4 that I was telling you guys, going back to keeping your car clean and your scents, I want you all to also make sure that the inside of your cars, they have mats. If you have mats, after every passenger, I'll highly recommend you guys to pull over for a minute or two, okay? And disinfect your cars, the doors. Make sure that your car handles is clean off, disinfected. Get yourself a Lysol, or mix your own little spray bottle concussion. If you don't like the strongness of certain ingredients, you could also do the multi-purpose ones, the ones that's very mellow for the environment. And clean your car down, clean off your stuff, get your mats. Because if I'm an individual, when I come into a car, if you see, I look at your mat, I'm looking under, making sure that everything is white and tidy, like wiped down and tidy. I'm not seeing no streak of grease. Some people come in your car, they don't wipe their hands, which I'm not talking about the customer right now. I'm just speaking about the driver. After 2 to 3 rides, I highly recommend you guys turn off for just a brief second, pull over. You see my brush? I have a brush. It broke on me. But get a little brush so you can brush all the sand out, especially if you're living in Hawaii or any place that have sand. Make sure you brush it out. If it's raining, guys, you may have to get some pads to put on the floor. You may need to pull out some mats that you can, they're disposable mats. I've come to the conclusion that if you get yourself a pack of dog little, those little, I don't have any in my car right now, but they have some mat for dog with the plastic that you could put in the car. They're blue, and you could get 50, you could get 20 in a pack. When it rains or snow, they're the best things to put on the floor, because guess what? You could pull over, take them out, put fresh ones down, and nobody, it saves you time, it saves you money, because you're getting a pack of 50 and you're only going to use it in bad weathers like snow, rain. You're going to use it, when it's too muddy outside and you don't want to mess up your mats. You could always go and exchange them and get them clean out. So I feel, even though it looked like a little, for dogs, so dogs don't mess up or pee or whatever, you could put them in the back of your car when it rains, because nobody want to be looking back and seeing. Some people step in dog poop and all that stuff. They're nasty. So they'll come in your car and mess it up, and you only have a brief second for your next ride. But that helped me out, guys, and I'm sharing these little tips with you as a driver, so that way it will make your life a little bit more easier. You don't have to think through it, because I'm letting you have all the little tips, right? So that's number 5 that I'll tell you all to do. I highly recommend you all get little plastic things that disposable, the dog mats. I don't know, for those that have dogs, you know what I'm talking about. I don't have no dogs, but I was recommended by somebody that had a dog. They say you put them in the back in bad weathers, and it's easy for you to take out and put back in. Number 6. For a driver, if you're talking about doing anything in the Uber drive or Lyft drive, I also recommend you guys to make sure that you have a dash cam. I know it's expensive, I know, but you know what? We buy and we spend on things that we don't even need anyway. So why not get yourself things that's going to help you be successful in the future? Because if somebody crazy come in your car, guys, at least somebody's going to get the memo for 30 seconds or 50 seconds of what really happened. And right now, Lyft have you where your dash cam, you could send them the information, it will connect you to them. And if something wild, especially you guys that's on the mainland, if something wild goes on out there, they can tap into your dash cam and they can find the situation. You could give them the stamp, the timestamp, and guess what? That will help you when scenarios and probably not get deactivated because you had to, lay hands on one of your customer for doing something crazy. But I'm just giving you these little tips so that way, guys, when it comes to your Shmoney talk, you are dotting your I's and you're crossing your T's, and that will make your life a little bit more easier. So make sure that you invest in a dash cam or a body cam. That definitely helps you in the long run. Hi, Sister EFP. Brother John, hello, Brother John. Thank you. He said, great advice. Yes, I just want to make sure from a driver perspective that you guys are getting all these little nuggets so that way when you do start driving for a Lyft or an Uber, that you make sure that you have your stuff in order. Oh my God, Sister EFP said, I can't do DoorDash anymore and you're sad. What happened? What do you mean? You let me know what's going on. What do I need to go up there and pull up in my Timberlands and Vaseline to DoorDash? What is DoorDash doing? Who are they anyway? But anyway, sis, let me know what happened. What's going on with you and DoorDash? Oh no, you have ride share on your insurance. Oh, okay. Oh, she said make sure on your insurance too. Okay. Okay, I'll get back to that. I'm gonna hold that comment right there. Let me go back before I forget because I didn't check them down. So tips for drivers doing their Lyft rides or their DoorDash. I think I'm on 6. I'm on number 7 or 6, whichever number I'm on. I just want you all to know. Hygienes, okay, as a driver. For those that like to overdo it and decide they want to work from 12 sun up to sundown, I hope you all are refreshing yourself. Brushing your teeth, guys, okay? Wait, before I get to that, the other tip I want to give you guys is if you are driving or you on Lyft or Uber, you have to give yourself time to eat. Pull over, eat, to use the bathroom. You know why? Because it's a healthy process for you as a driver, because sometimes you're going to start getting rides back to back to back to back and you're not able to pull over. And what if you really want to go and you can't hold it anymore? Guys, that's not a smart way to move, okay? So make sure, like for me right now, around 11, I pause my app and I go and I use the bathroom, I eat something. Pack your snacks is another one too. That go hand in hand, packing the snack and taking the time to eat it and going to use the bathroom before you hit ride again. Because what happens is if you don't, then and you're in an area that don't have no bathrooms accessible to you, you may have to do a little oops, like the little 2-year-old, okay? And it's not pretty for a grown-up to be all, having no oops no time soon. So make sure that you're taking time to do that. The other thing, going back to the hygiene, if you're doing 12-hour shifts or 14 hours, or you're doing your 12 hours, because on Lyft, they only give you up to 12 hours to do per day. And then you got to stop for 3 hours and then you get another 12 hours again. But if you are doing that, guys, make sure you're not leaving your house without showering. Don't jump in the car all funky from the night before because you decide, oh, well, you're focused and you're in your gig and you're doing your thing. Wash your tail, okay? Brush your teeth, wash your face. Be presentable. Don't show up smelly or smelling like yesterday's laundry that you dried under your bed. At least have something that smell refreshing. You may not need to put perfume on, or you may not need to, if you don't have no soap, guys, you figure something out, okay? But make sure that you're doing you're grooming yourself, okay? Because as a passenger, nobody want to smell your yesterday's little funk, okay? So I just want to make sure that drivers are getting these tips and make sure that you're not doing it. If you get up in the morning, some people don't brush their teeth. Make sure you brush your teeth. Floss, guys. The poo-poo is between the teeth. You have to floss it, wash it out, then you brush and you floss again, and then try get some mouthwash. Sometimes Listerine can be smelling like an old man, so nobody want to smell like Listerine, but they have other mouthwash or mouth refreshments up in there that you can use. Number 8 or 9, I don't know what tip it is. I'm just going to give you another tip is get a mouth spray, a little breath mint in your car. Get some gum. Chew something after you eat your meal. Do something, guys, so that way you don't come across as offensive to the person that's in the back. And many people may want to be driving you around and talking to you, and their breath smell like 2 weeks that they haven't brushed their teeth. Please be mindful of people in the back of your car. And it goes both ways, because I'm not ready for the customer yet. You just hold off now. I'm coming. The other thing, if you have any bad habits like smoking, nobody want to come into your car and you smelling like a cigarette, that you smoked a pack of cigarette. Lord forbid if it's weed. Okay, don't become smoking no weed as a driver, thinking that scent is not. You could eat a whole pack of Tic Tacs and it's going to go away. That scent will stick on you. I don't smoke, by the way, for those that's just wondering why I said that. It's because of my experiences as a customer, and I don't smoke, so as a driver, I don't know if as a driver, but I know as a customer to smell people when they smoking. You can smell those things. Be mindful. Your car is closed. Your AC is on. God forbid it's raining. It's worse because you have to tolerate people's stuff. You know, if you like to eat food like kimchi and all that stuff, no, you got to have extra disposable toothbrushes. Do you know that they have the travel area in the supermarkets or in the stores that has the little Listerine and the toothpaste on it, little small little toothbrushes? Carry a few of them around. Like if you're eating kimchi or you like Indian food and they have strong scent, that you could just brush your teeth right there and spit and wash your mouth out on the go and still be appealing to the people in the back. Guys, be mindful. Let me tell you something. Pig don't know pig stink. But you as a pig, you know you stink because you smell yourself first. You're the first one to smell your armpit. Oh, by the way, that's another tip. Make sure you're wearing deodorant. If you don't have no deodorant, there's lemon juice. You can wear, you cut the lemon, you squeeze some of the juice out, and the rind with the juice, it may cut that little funkiness that you may have. You know, just rub that up in there. Some people put different things on, baking soda, whatever. Figure out a thing. If you can't figure out how to buy something because you're running out or money is not running, go on YouTube and do it yourself deodorant. Figure out something so that way you're not offensive to the person in the back. I think I covered. And comb your hair, by the way. Make sure your hair is combed, or at least, you know, setting like something, and wash your hair too, by the way. Oof, my Lord, wash your hair. Nobody want to smell no funky old dusty smelly hair. Make sure you wash your hair and you're tidying yourself, because you're, as a driver, you come across a little funny to the person in the back seat, and you don't want to be offensive to the driver. When you are tidy, your car is tidy and everything is tidy, guess what? Your tips increases. You increase your tips by doing the right things. And if nobody told you, I'm telling you today, get it together as a driver. Before you even turn Lyft on, make sure that you listen to this video, and then you go back and be like, okay, check. Okay, I need to check over here. Maybe you're not brushing your teeth and you think that it's cool because your partner next to you didn't tell you your mouth stink. Let me tell you something too. Those kids, if you have kids, you don't have to worry, because your kids are going to tell you before you leave the house, okay, now you need to brush your teeth. Why your teeth looking yellow? They will remind you. So if you don't have no kids, trust me, somebody need to tell it to you, or you need to ask somebody, do you smell my breath? And just make sure that they survive the blow. Okay. I'm just kidding. Anyway, now a few tips for the drivers I just gave you. Now we're going to deal with the customers. Number one, if you're coming into my car and it's raining, I highly suggest you make sure that you stamp all that water out of your foot, even though I have my dog pads in the back if I really need it. But be respectable. If I'm going into your car, that is your property. I'm not going to just walk in there any old way, okay? I'm going to make sure that I'm not, unless you pick me up on the side of the road and I got caught in the rain because I was running to catch the bus and didn't make the bus, and I just needed to get a Lyft ride. I may be a little wet, but I'm going to try my best to not have no mud on my foot, okay? Dust off your mud off your foot. Make sure that your shoes are clean. Some people, you pick them up at their house and they come in your car, you look down and there's mud because you didn't clean your shoes up. How can you walk in mud and don't think to clean it off before you go inside of your house if it's raining, and you're going to put out those same funky shoes on the next day to come inside of people's car and they're wet. Guess what? That scent we could smell. Once you inside of a car and a person come in, you smell everything. You know what deodorant they use. You know if they didn't use deodorant. You know the toothpaste they use. You know the hair shampoo and conditioner that they use. We can smell, guys. Okay, our nose is not deaf. Okay, we can smell. So make sure that you aware of that we can smell. So clean your shoes. The other thing that I want to let you all know: shower. Don't come in here, deciding that I'm going to go into a Lyft ride. Oh, I'm just going to jump in, and you didn't shower. I can smell you. Make sure you tidy in too, just like how I want to be respectable to you. Make sure you're respectable for me, okay? Because the moment you come in my car, that oof just comes, boof, and I can smell it. Okay, I could smell if you didn't wash your hair. I could smell. Some people come in my car, guys, and I can smell that they washed their hair, but they didn't give it time to air dry, or they didn't blow it out to dry it. And the hoginess, that dusty, damp smell, you can smell it, and it stays in people's car. I just want you to know that it stays in the car. We are aware of that. Be mindful that you're cleaning up yourself, because that is very irritating when a person come in and they're hoagie and they're wet. They smell like a wet scent, or they're sweating and their clothes just smell a certain way, and they sit in your car and all your seat is sweaty. I'm so glad you see my seat. I put those little things that you could pull off and rewash them. So I rewash my car stuff every other day, just because you're going to have some funky people that come in that you're like, no, I can't handle this scent. I need to just take this off, throw it in the washing machine with a lot of bleach on it, and just put it on for the next day. It's not fair for the other customer that has to come behind them. Okay. If you smoke anything, if you're smoking roaches, if you're smoking cigarettes, if you have that strong back weed that you grow in the back of your yard, guys, don't think you can smoke it outside of the car and then catch an Uber and come inside of my car. I can smell it and thinking it's disappearing. And you know what happens when they smoke weed or anything that strong scent? I don't know if I can say weed on here, but you all know that ganja. When they're smoking that thing and they come in your car, they be putting all the gum in their mouth, all the little Tic Tacs, all the little candy. Like, if we can't smell it, come on, air yourself off. If you catch a Lyft ride and you know you want to get a nice little hit before you go to work, I don't want a hit. That's your hit. So sometimes I had to put my windows down and I have to look at them. I have to give them an eye, like, do you smell yourself? Because I sure smell that you just smoked, and you know you smoke. So don't talk to me right now. I don't say it like that, but they get the jits when they come in the car. Like this morning, I dropped a girl, and I just finished up whatever she was doing to get her hit. Don't order a Lyft until probably 30 minutes later when your body is already, or hit before you go shower, so that we can wash it all off for you and the scent is less disrespectful, okay? The other thing I want you all to know as well, make sure you brush your teeth. The same way I told the driver make sure they're tidy and hygiene. You make sure that your teeth is brushed. If you like kimchi, I had a girl come in my car. She wanted to talk. And let me tell you something. She talked, but I was like this the whole time. Yeah. And I had to put the window down. Her breath was full, whatever food she had. I think she had kimchi mixed up with some cow manure. It was bad, okay? And she wanted to talk, and she was bubbly and excited. But the AC, and you're talking to me smelling like that, like it's offensive to me. I can't breathe. I wanted to pass out. I was like, girl, do you smell yourself? And then she talked the whole 45 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I would have been aware that I had kimchi mixed with some cow manure, and I would have been like, okay, put on your headphones and just be quiet. But she talked the whole time. And then you have people come in your car that they have, they smoke, and that scent, and you're the passive receiver. So even they're actively doing it, you still get damaged because your nose is not used to the scent. You have to inhale all of that. So be mindful when you're coming into Lyft rides, guys. Last but not least, if you're catching yourself a Lyft ride and you had milk and you have, lactose intolerance to milk, don't fart and then come in my car. Because you bring the scent. People think they have invisible behinds that they could do all of that and nobody can smell it. That's the first thing you can smell. The last person I had was Thanksgiving. It was an offensive one to me. She decided, I guess she had some turkey. She told me, she said, I had to taste this turkey this morning. Well, I smelled the turkey. She brought the turkey. She took it to work. And then on top of that, she smelled like she lifted her tail after, because it probably did not work well with her stomach, and brought it in the car. And I'm looking at her, I said, girl, I was like, wow. And I put the window down. She was embarrassed because she was a little thickums, and I'm like, girl, I could smell you had turkey mixed with a whole lot of stuff coming in there, and it was not smelly. Okay, it was not smelling like the best. All right, and she knew that. So don't fart and then come into a Lyft ride. Air yourself out, kick your legs around a little bit to shake it all off, because it's offensive to the driver to have to inhale all of that stuff. It makes no sense for you to do that. You should be aware and mindful that it's happening. Okay, if you just had a food that's strong and your breath, you didn't brush your teeth, don't talk to nobody. Just nod your head yes and say, hey, how you doing? And or the person, when they say good morning to you, you say good morning, and you look the other side. That means to a driver, we can catch certain scents. We ain't trying to talk to you either. First of all, when you come in our car, we ain't trying to talk to you. We want to get paid. Okay? When you come in my car, I don't really want to talk to you. I want to take you from point A to point B because I want to get paid. I want my shmoney. However, though, if you're a talkative person, I'll talk to you the whole way, just because that's how the courtesy goes, right? However, though, most people don't want to talk. But I want them to know I don't want to talk either as a driver, but I do it out of courtesy because you want to talk. So if you want to talk to somebody, make sure that you're mindful that you brush it, put a little mint in. I always have a pack so that I can say, would you care for some gum? Try to throw a nice little remarks out there. Anybody care for gum? Just so that they'll know. But most of the time, people don't get it. They're so excited, they just keep talking anyway. So I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of a few tips as a driver and as a customer coming into a Lyft ride, how our expectations is for each other. And if you respect each other when it comes to those expectations by not violating, I think everybody will have an amazing Lyft ride or Uber ride without having to feel like you just need to turn off and go throw up somewhere. We don't want that. We want everybody to have a peaceful and mindful and nice, smooth ride. And if you do feel like you're a little smelly, then don't say nothing to nobody, okay? Just hush. Just hush in the corner. You mind your business and just use your hands. And then keep it moving. Or ask to turn the window down. One more story I got for you guys. I had a Lyft ride once, right? And these people were hiking. So she comes into my car. It was hot. It was summertime. This was last year, right? And the lady is like, so I had the AC on, and I said, would you guys prefer AC or fresh air? Well, the old funky lady, she said, well, I want AC. And I'm looking at her, and her husband looked at her like, you're a little funky, right? Everybody was smelling each other, but they didn't shower before they went to hike. Make sure you shower before you hike, especially if you're going to catch an Uber, because once your body starts to get all heat up, all or whatever you did yesterday, I don't need to smell it, and I don't want to smell it either, okay? Well, she wanted to put the AC on, but then she wanted the breeze to help cool her down. I said, ma'am, you got to pick one. You want the AC on or you want the fresh air? So she said fresh air, which I was glad she said fresh air, because she said, I know I smell a little, she said, I know I smell a little, harsh today. And I said, yes, ma'am, you do. And I smiled, and I know she was offended. Do you know that lady give me a bad rating? I got a bad rating. I only repeated what she said now. I acknowledged that she was funky, but she said it first, and I acknowledged it, and I got a bad rating. I just want y'all to know she was upset with me because I told her she was funky, but she said it first. It's like a pig asking another pig pig. If am I a pig? Do I smell like? Do I smell funky? And the little pig say, yeah, you do. Well, that's how it was. Pigs don't know pigs stink. But let me tell you something. I knew she was stink because I was sweet. I showered that morning. I didn't hike. Come on, guys. Oh. Anyway, give me 1 second. Let me unplug this car because I'm charging, and my charge is finished. So give me 1 second. Okay, here I am. So, by the way, let me see these. Oh my gosh, I'm so behind in the comments. I'm going to pull over to the other side just in case somebody else comes here and they want to plug in. I'm going to pull over and then I'm going to turn my app on because I got to go back to work, guys. Oh, I am 80 something dollars away from my goal. And that's how slow it was today. Okay, so I'm 80 something dollars away, but I have a goal that I did not achieve Monday through Friday because I was doing other things. Okay, I was doing other things. I did not achieve my goals, so now I got to work overtime, which is today. And the kids, I want to spend time with them tomorrow, so I won't be working tomorrow. So I got to work today. We got the sacrifice that we have to do as parents. We got to do sacrifices, but it's all worth it. Let me get into these comments because I saw Sister Elvira mention she's no longer doing DoorDash, so I am trying to figure out what's going on with Sister. Hello, David B. David B, do you do Uber Drive or Lyft? Just asking, because I think you do Spark, right? You're still in the gig economy, brother. Just asking. Let's see here. Sister Elvira said, I can't do DoorDash anymore. She said, make sure you have ride share on your insurance. Okay, so for me, per se, I don't have rideshare on my insurance because I already have insurance. So my insurance is covering my car. And it's a gray area, Sister Elvira. We need to talk about that because I already have insurance for everyone that drives in my car. And I do have the driver stuff. So whatever happened when I get into accidents, like when I backed into the lady that was in front of me. Remember when that happened? And I had my whole front was just torn up. When I called my insurance company, I called them and I claimed it as my fault, because it was my fault. I bumped into the lady, even though deep down inside of me, in the flesh, I wanted to blame her because she left to go out in an intersection and stopped dumbly, and me dumbly looked back. And because in my head, I thought she had already went forward, I hit the gas and I bumped right in her behind of her car, and it just tore my car up. So when I claimed for insurance, I claimed it as an accident from my end, not as the other individuals. And I did not, the questions that they asked me didn't specifically say rideshare, that I was on DoorDash or if I was on the other app. They just asked me whose fault was it. And all the questions that they asked me, I was specifically responding to them. I really was not aware of any other way. I know they offer rideshare insurance and you should be covered on rideshare insurance, but if you claim through rideshare directly because you're on their job, then you will have to deal with the company. If you call for rideshare insurance through your insurance, that's where the discrepancy is going to be. When I call for my personal insurance because I bumped into the other lady and it was my fault, I didn't claim rideshare. I told her it was my fault, and my questions that I responded to was like if I just negligently made a mistake and it was me, and I took responsibility for that. So I'm not sure of why you have you're not can't do DoorDash anymore. I don't know. You may have to call me and explain that to me, what's going on, because I don't understand. I know you can have both insurance, but for me, I already pay and cover my whole entire car. So any accidents plus the person that if it's my fault, they're covered as well. So yes, sis, you're gonna have to. Llámame, ok, y me diga qué está sucediendo, ok, porque no entiendo. All right, yes, okay. Don't forget Duolingo, by the way. Duolingo in Spanish, they do a really great modules over there. We need to start speaking on Duolingo. I think I also told you guys that I am learning Korean, okay? So, 안녕하세요, okay? 안녕하세요 means hi. So from now on, I'm gonna start using a lot of Korean. I already know a little bit of, I already know Spanish, so I'm learning my fourth language right now, and that's Korean, and it's hard. I just want you all to know that it's very hard. But you know what? I'm gonna try my best to do what I can. Thank you. Oh my God, yes, I had a few Ubers with weed smell and cigarettes. Oh, Sister EFP. And then all of a sudden, I mean, I never have smoked weed and I've never smoked cigarette, and I feel offended. I'll be high by the time they get out of my car. I'm like, oh my God, this thing is some strong stuff. It's like they didn't spike it up with some ginger juice or whatever, because that thing is strong and it stinks. So I don't know. I always put my window down when they come in. Yeah, that weed is no joke. They come in here, man and woman. They jump in your car like if they're smelling like roses. When you're looking at them, like, you know you stink, eh? You know you smell just like weed, and you shouldn't have done that. But they be excited. They be so excited and mellow. They laughing. They doing all kind of stuff. Sometimes when I drop them off, I be so excited and laughing because I get the passive smell of it. And sometimes that's not the best thing. You know, you may have to put your window down. So yes, Sister EFP, I totally understand that. Tony Nixon sounds like my wife. Her nose is so sensitive. Yes, that's why when you do your little, grooming to your car as a Lyft rider or as an Uber rider, make sure that the scent is not so strong. Make sure you get mellow scents, like a nice, even lemon scent sometimes is a little bit too potent. You may need to get in vanilla everything can be potent. Like right now, the one that I had, it was a little dash of cinnamon mixed with a little thing of vanilla cream. The creamy stuff really lets the car smell a little better. But EFP, you're driving, you're doing rides now, like you, like the driver, or you were sharing that you were in the passenger seat? Just asking. Tony Nixon says songs you need to have a care package for those people. Yes, you do. And by the way, guys, I always carry around, you see my little red bag. This bag has in my cleaning products. So I get my little cleaning products, disinfect my car. Like just now I was charging. Guess what I was doing? I was outside wiping down all this stuff, all in the back. When a new driver come in, guess what's going to have? A clean car. After 2 to 3 rides, you pull over, you disinfect and clean down, because that's your image. Your car becomes your image. And if your car is messy and funky, they think you're messy and funky too, and you don't get no tip. Because I know if I go into a dirty car, I ain't giving you no tip, because I didn't have a nice, cool, smooth ride. I had a little funky ride where I had to, hold my breath for dear life to get out of your car, because you just, it was not appealing. So make sure that your car is appealing enough. It smells good. Everybody comes in my car to be like, ooh, your car smells so good. But because I'm the driver and I'm consistently in the driving seat, I don't smell what they smell. But I'm glad that they smell something, because that makes me feel good. Okay, it makes me feel good. But these are some tips, guys, that I wanted to share with you guys on Shmoney Talk, because I feel like it's so much needed when it comes to the industry of the gig economy and you're trying to make money. Yes, it's not that you have food in your car and you're going around. I multi-app. So some days I'm going to have a little mix of food, a little mixture of driving. If you're going to have a mixture of food and driving, another hint, this is the bonus hint, okay? Do food first or last. don't do food turn off and then do ride, because some foods are heavy, especially some of those soups that the Koreans and the Thai food and those pho and stuff that smell. Some people be gotten octopus smell in there because they like all those things in their soups, and it's strong. So nobody want to come in after some cow foot or mondongo, you dropping off food for somebody, and then you're gonna pick up a Lyft ride. That's not a cool smell. Make sure after you do food, you separate it from your drive. Give yourself a chance, give your car a chance to air out, guys. Open the windows. Get your little spray bottle. I mix my multi-purpose. I have me a rag. Clean it down. Maybe I'm too OCD yet. Is that part of the OCDness where I just feel like I would want somebody to do it for me? So why I'm not going to do it for somebody else? If you want it to be done for you, then you do it for somebody else. That's what I do. Hi, David B. Hope all is well with you. Now, David B., let me see. Tony Nixon says, some insurance company want you to have a ride share insurance. So is the business insurance more money? Of course. Yes. Some have you, I'll separate, but I normally claim on my personal. And out of the 10 accidents, and Betsy had some accidents, I could tell you that. Y'all know one time they took my 2 doors out. I had to do that. It was not my fault. It was somebody else's fault, so they claim it. The other time the lady backed into me at a stop sign. I was like, ma'am, you're supposed to go forward, not backwards. She reversed right back into me at a stop sign. It was her fault. She had to take care of it. The last time I got bumped in from the back. The other time I got bumped in from the side again. The other time I got bumped in my front door again. And the last 2 that I did, I ran into a tree in the parking lot. I was parked just like this. Went to drive off, and instead of hitting reverse, I went straight forward. Boom! Took my whole, that was when I was in my Jeep. My Grand Cherokee was split in, like it was divided in 2. It was like this curb from where that tree I hit so hard, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God. And guess what? It was my fault. Okay. Then the second time was when my door, I still have the dent in my door right now because I'm waiting to go in, because over here in Hawaii, I guess everybody get accidents. So all the repair stores is not available. So not until the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I get an opening so that I could go and make them checked to fix my door, because everybody, they're booked and busy. Okay, so if you are trying to figure out what career you want to go into the car fixing, anything mechanic, anything medical, anything plumbing, anything electrical, because that's where the money is at, and everybody's always in need of that. And I think they need more car fixture upper people than even electricians, because people need their cars repainted, reconstructed, dented. They need a lot to do in that area when it comes to the mechanic and fixing. So I did that one. So guess what? When I claimed it under me, because I was the one that went backing in and didn't see the iron pole, because it was in my blind spot, and I backed in. I took the back door, got dented in like this, left that dent and that whole scratch, the paint out. My whole soul just screamed when that happened. Okay. And then the other one was when I bumped my front in, and that was my fault. I didn't claim that on my ride share. I claimed it on because it was my fault. So maybe I didn't have the experience of that, but I'm going to look into that, because I always do it through my other app, which is my insurance personally, not through the ride share insurance. Maybe I need to make a video. I'm going to get information. I'll make a video in regards to that one. I only can give you my experience, but that's been my experience for all of my shares that I claimed. If it's my fault, I claim it through my personal insurance. I've never done anything through rideshare, but I know that they offer, but I already covered. And I don't know. But yeah, if you guys have any extra information or experience with rideshare and claiming for rideshare and not your personal insurance, and you could share, I only could speak from what I claim, and I'll claim my insurance personally all the time, because the 3 times it was my fault, guys. So that's why I took it. And if it's your fault, the insurance paid me out. I didn't have no issues, no questions asked. So I didn't have nothing, no negative experience when it came to that. But I would love to hear from you guys if you all have working on the gig economy and have that a bad experience where you didn't get paid for something, or sis says she can't do DoorDash anymore because of the insurance situation. I'm not 100% sure of what really happened, but I would love for her to inform me so that we could get to the bottom of that, because DoorDash is doing a little bit better, but they still have a long ways for me. I'm gonna turn on my app just because it's shmoney time and we all need to make some shmoney, and I just got myself a nice little order. So I'm gonna go on, guys, and go to work. I just turned on. God is so good. He been blessing. Turn into Rich Quest, straight into the end. Oh my gosh, these people, the moment you get a ride and they start giving you a whole bunch of information, I feel like canceling it. Even when you're delivering food, and you see before you could even pick up the darn food, the people is telling you, go to the left, go to the right. You just cancel it because it's going to be a waste of your time. But right now, guys, I have a nice little order. I'm going to go and get this money in. I hope that these tips was very beneficial to you guys. I'm going to come back. I'm going to do some research on the rideshare insurance, comparing to your personal insurance and how that works, so that way probably next Saturday I'm going to come on and give some updates on what I found. And I would love for you guys to share your information if you had any hiccups when it comes to that, because in this gig economy, guys, we always growing. Knowledge is power. I don't know everything, and if you know something that I don't know, please enlighten me, okay? Because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going on this I'm going to pull off so I can go pick up this customer, and once I pick her up, I'm going to turn off, but you all still have a little bit of time. So share information with me, guys, on how you went about your insurance claim while working the gig economy, so that way I could know, so that nothing like that won't happen to me. But I'm very sorry, Sister Elvira, if your scenario that you had, you had that scenario. That is painful. That's very painful. I don't know what scenario. Girl, I don't know what's going on. You need to tell me. You need to tell me. Okay. But anyway, guys, I love you guys, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for chiming in. Today we talked in regards to the gig economy. Today is Saturday Shmoney Talk, and y'all already know when we talking about Shmoney, today was a few tips and tricks that you can do as a Lyft rider, either a customer or a driver, on the do not do, the things you don't do, okay? Warning signs, don't do these things, and do a little bit more of the other things. Go back, listen to the video. Don't forget to hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, because, Life at Paulette, we have a little bit of everything that goes on over here, and we love to share with our friends, right? All right, guys, I'll see you all on the next one. I love you. Deuces. A bitty goodie, babies, and bye-bye to you.